Hey everybody, Anish Majumdar here, career coach to the fiercely ambitious. Thank you very much for joining me here today. And I want to focus this video around some ways where you can get out of your head during interviews because it's such a common problem. And if you're experiencing this, I want you to know you are by no means alone. Every single one of us has experienced this. You know, we do our best to prepare. Maybe we over prepare, which I'll talk about in a second. We do our best, we show up. And then it's like there's like a weird out of body experience, isn't there? Because we're like listening, we're doing our best, we're plugged in, but it's like we're so here, you know, we're just bouncing around between our insecurities. Oh, that was the wrong thing to say. Oh God, should have said that. Oh my God, I just trained on that. That was not the wrong thing. You know, we just get lost, right? And you know that feeling when you're responding, you're doing your best, but there's no real connection there. All there is anxiety and this like ping pong sensation going on in your mind. That's like judging and criticizing and somehow unable to get you out of that trap, you know? So I want to share a couple of tips that have proven to be very, very effective in quickly snapping you out of that. Because please remember this, okay? Without connection, without a conversation moving from where we start into a place of emotion, sincerity, truth, if that's not happening, then it doesn't really matter how well your answers are. You didn't succeed in this meeting, okay? So it's critically important that, yes, there's going to be moments where you're going to flip back into your head. There's moments where insecurities, doubts, things are going to arise, right? But the faster you can snap back out of it, the better it's going to be for your outcomes. No doubt about that, okay? So here are three, okay? Number one, the most important thing I can tell you to get out of your head, okay, is to, and write this down, okay, make it about impact, comma, not ego. What I mean is this. If you pay attention to the dialogue that's going on in your mind when you're freaking out, when you're lost in there, you'll notice that it's all I talk. It's all, I'm insecure, I said the wrong thing, I'm not right for this, I don't know where this person's going, I don't know how to turn this conversation around, etc. It's all I, right? If in that moment you can remember what your purpose is here. And what is your purpose? Maybe it is to help technology businesses connect with their customers in a deeper, more meaningful way that benefits all of us. Maybe that's that. Maybe it's not professional. Maybe it's giving my kids and my wife the life that they've always wanted and they deserve. Right? It's what do you serve? What immediately comes to mind? And I would just write this down, okay? What are the 5 or 6 biggest ways your success is going to have an impact for others? What are those people? Who do you serve? Who's going to most benefit aside from you? Right? Is it going to be a business where not just the people who are in business development or marketing, not only are they doing better, their families are happier, they feel more happy about the future, they feel more excited about it, and by extension, the whole company benefits, right? There's all sorts of ways in which we can make that impact happen. But if we use the impact as our North Star, if we say everything that I'm doing, whether looking to find a new job, connecting with someone, dialoguing with someone, whatever that is, if the promise we make to ourselves is, I am doing all of this and I am showing up and I am making a stand for impact above everything else, and you can remember that when you're in your head, it'll instantly snap you out of it. Remember your kids. Remember how their lives, go ahead. It's impossible to be stuck in that way. So tip number 1, make it about impact, not ego. Okay, tip number 2. One of the hardest things for us to do and one of the simplest ways to shut down that negative self-chatter and talk. Check in. Something as simple as, hey, are you getting what you're looking for here? Hey, did I lose you over there? Can we back up here? How much of that, is in line? Because you're giving me a look that my son sometimes gives me when I've told him something and I know it went right past, What do you think about that? Does that make sense? Am I on the right track here? You look like you've got a totally different opinion. These are all ways to check in. And checking in simply means just break the pattern and ask a question. Doesn't matter if you break rapport, because listen, if you're stuck in your head, you're not having real rapport anyway. So please don't be afraid about interrupting or stopping a conversation to check in. People love to answer questions when it's about them or it's about something that they're doing, right? And B, it'll break it out. You can't help but get out of your head when you've asked a question because you got to listen to the answer and you got to move it forward, right? So check in. And most of the time, for a huge percentage of people, the reason you got stuck in your head in the first place during an interview is because you didn't ask enough questions. I would say 30 to 40% of the conversation should be based around questions that you're asking and follow-ups and redirects, etc. So if it's been a long time, sometimes you could just be talking for so long because you're just afraid of asking a question, right? And in that, you're going into your head. So don't be afraid to break rapport and check in. Okay? Simple question. You don't have to be a genius about it. What do you think? Right? Gets you out. The third one, don't overplan. Denzel Washington, there was a great quote that he had, and I'm butchering it, but the gist of it is basically this. I prepare and 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 I prepare until the day of that I show up on set. Cameras roll, I'm improvising. And the same thing is true here. The things that you do to prepare for an interview, a high-stakes negotiation, etc., those are great. But that cannot, that part of your brain that analyzed, researched, developed, that's not the part of the brain that succeeds in a meeting. That's not the part of the brain that succeeds in an interview, right? You've got to understand that all the prep that you do should not just go in there, because then you're going to be spending most of your time trying to compare this organic situation, which needs all of your attention. You're constantly pulling yourself out of it and looking at this artificial plan and saying how much of this is right, how much of this is wrong, etc., etc. So don't do that. I would say prepare it how you're gonna do it, but A, maybe prepare 30 to 40% less than you're planning to, and B, definitely don't go into that room with more than maybe 3 to 5 one-line bullet points, little crystallizations. Whether it's stories, whether it's an important thing that you need to ask, whatever that is, there should never be more than just a handful of those things in front of you. Okay? The more you make it about them, the more often you check in, and the less you plan, or at the very least, the less you bring into that room, the more it's going to force you to improvise. It's going to force you to figure out, like if you legitimately don't have, 30, 40 minutes to present or pitch on, and you shouldn't, then you're going to have to pay attention to the other person because you don't know where it's going. You authentically don't know where it's going. And what Denzel was trying to say is that the best of his preparation is going to manifest itself when he's fully in the moment, fully on purpose, and fully ready to see wherever it goes, okay? If you hew to these and you stay out of your head, you can make 10 times as many mistakes, you can make 10 times as many blunders, you can double back, you can do all sorts of things you're not supposed to do, and you're still going to move towards the outcome. Because people understand when someone is galvanized by a force that is deeper than their self-talk and their ego any day of the week. And so focus on these three. They will really, really, really help you in terms of snapping right back out of your head and right into the moment, okay? We can all do it, and you can too, all right? And if you need harder, stronger medicine than simply optimizing on this area, if you're actively looking for a new job, if you're looking to improve your career prospects, if you know that you're finally ready to take a step up to that executive or senior executive level, but you're just frustrated by what the job scene is looking like now, and you're not getting any attention and it's just not working out at the level that you want it to be, I strongly encourage you to go over to helloanish.com right now, HELLOANISH.com, where I've synced up a masterclass you can take right now that is going to teach you exactly the shifts that I teach our masterminders. We've had over 1,600 so far, who all have been bound by one thing. They want to learn an end-to-end way to generate opportunities for themselves without relying on any of the BS of traditional hiring, okay? If you're at a point where you are curious, galvanized, and certainly committed towards a better outcome for yourself, do not delay. Hop on over there. It's helloanish.com. Take the training, understand it, learn it, run with it. It's going to be transformative. All right, I'll talk to each and every one of you soon. Have a great day.